Hello, it's Christy Christmas, and we are going to finish the lesson plan that we started last week with sections 4, 5, and 6. Section 4 is activities. What activities have you planned? The introduction to my lesson will be whole group instruction using a smartboard. I will pull up different examples of number lines to show the class what an actual number line looks like and what type of data can be shown on a number line. I will model how they are constructed, and the students will be able to take notes in their journal during this time. For guided practice, the students will be split into small groups, and there will be 8 different rain gauges filled with different water amounts. The groups will be able to practice reading and plotting the water amounts on a line graph. This will help the students that need a little bit of extra help and attention to be able to work with a partner that can show them and guide them on how to read the rain gauge and how to actually plot those numbers. For independent practice, the students will be given an individual worksheet with 5 or so different number amounts that they can graph on a number line on their own. During this time, I will be engaged walking around the classroom, checking to see that they are able to actually plot those numbers. Any students that are having trouble with that, I can help them, and we will go over the worksheet together just to make sure that they all got the concept. In closure, we will gather back whole group, and I will have a blank line graph drawn on the board. I will let each group come up taking turns plotting one of the numbers from the different rain gauges on the board. When complete, we will see that we have a line graph with all 8 different amounts on it that we can compare and review and see what our data showed. I have chosen these activities because rain totals is something that is easy to be graphed and can be compared. And this is something that all children and students know something about. They know that it rains, and they know that we measure rain. They can see that watching weather forecasts and the different things. The journaling allows the students to grasp a better understanding of making the graph for themselves. This gives them some time to actually construct a graph and understand how it's working instead of just being lectured to. The materials that will be used for this are the instructional materials that will be used by the students will be the rain gauges, of course, and a journal. The resources that I, the teacher, will be using will be the smartboard, which is a good way to show the examples of the different types of graphs, and it allows me to draw and model the graph for the students. I've chosen the rain gauge because it is easy to read, and the numbers, and it's easy to plot those different things on a number line. The journal is a good way for students to make their own graphs and refer back to them. The smartboard allows me to show examples, and it also allows me to pull video to show how to read a rain gauge. I can draw the different graphs and model for the students actually on the smartboard. The smartboard keeps it simple, not bringing in a whole lot of extra stuff that can cause distraction in the classroom. For the evaluation of this lesson, I plan to assess the students by having them record the data in the journal, and I will check their data at the end of the class period to make sure that they understand the concept. I will give the students a formal assessment with numerical data that they will plot on different types of graphs. I plan to give this formal assessment after about a week or so of doing different kinds of graphs, depending on how well the students seem to be grasping the concept. This lesson actually is part of a unit. The unit lesson is the different types of graphs, and then this lesson is the line graph based on that unit. So the formal assessment will come after we have completed the different lessons, completing the unit. I have chosen this type of approach for evaluation because I feel this works well with the students because they get a chance to record the data and make the graphs on their own in their journals. This gives me time to help correct any mistakes that they may be making and show them what they may be doing wrong to where we can help them to be successful in actually learning how to make these graphs. After they have lots of practice making the graphs, the formal evaluation lets the students make the graphs on their own, showing if they have mastered the skill.